Yeah, I don't look good. I don't buy this name stuff. What's there? Name stuff.
Okay, right, here we go. Thanks for joining us again. Hello.
Hello.
Back again on RiderCamTV, your go-to site for all things that are bike related by two blokes who know nothing about bikes but talk about bikes a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about how we pack and what we pack when we're going away on a trip. Now, Toby and I both do guiding, so the way we pack is perhaps a little bit different to the way you would pack, but we'll just show you what we do and what we take for, say, a three-week trip.
Yeah.
It'll give you some idea of what you really need to take and what you don't need to take.
And some handy little gadgets that we've got as well.
Yep.
I say some, there might be one.
All right.
But really good little gadget.
But it's handy, whatever it is.
They're all handy. Right, so 3 weeks on the bike. Most of the days, you're going to be on your bike.
Yep.
So I'm the same as you, I think. We don't take loads and loads of underwear, pants, t-shirts, trousers, shoes, because really, what's the point?
If you think about it logically, on a bike trip, you like Toby says, you from say 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, you're riding your motorbike, finish at 5 in the evening, you're actually only really going to be in, let's call it civilian clothing.
Oh, I like that, civilian clothing.
There you go. For, 3 or 4 hours every day.
If that.
If that. What are you planning to do?
Well, I'm naked all night.
Alright. So you don't need to take masses and masses of kit, and which is a bit a misconception, because I've been on tours and people they've brought 40-litre bags across the back of their panniers. They've got 2 panniers full of kit, 3 pairs of shoes. So it's all a little bit of it's unnecessary in my opinion. But it's only our opinion, obviously. However, we've got a bit of experience with travelling, so it may help you a little bit.
And
so
most people overpack, don't they?
Oh, definitely. Now you're going to laugh at us. You're going to think we're a pair of tramps travelling around Europe or wherever it is.
We're really not.
With the amount of kit we take. But we've taken a bit of time to think about what you actually need, and you don't need a lot.
And we've gone through the same process as most people that go out on normal tours, that we've taken too much. Loads and loads of times. And I dare say that every tour we go on, we'll find something that we don't need to take that we've taken.
Definitely. What I tend to do is I pack for what I need, and then I unpack it, ditch half of it, or put it back in the drawers, and then repack it again, and then check and see if I really need all that stuff. And a sort of rule that my wife works off is if you haven't worn it, you didn't need it.
Yeah. See, I go through a different kind of process. On my bed, I put all the stuff that I think I ought to take, and then I stack all my clothes in one place, all of my gadgets and things that I need to take into another place, on the bed obviously, and then I take away what I actually don't need, and exactly the same, but I just don't go through the packing, unpacking, unpacking, and then I probably do end up packing and then removing some other stuff.
I'm lost now. There's packing and unpacking and stacking and all sorts of...
There's no science to it. You've got to find what works for you.
So, because we do tour guiding, we have to take obviously a lot of extra kit for spare GPSs for people whose GPSs break down, charging leads, and you'll find, I think I don't know whether it's progress or not, but we now need to take millions of charging leads with us on every trip we go on. So, I've got a GS Adventure, which has got a big pannier and a small pannier that's cut out over the exhaust. So the way I pack is the big pannier belongs to me, and that's where all my clothes will go, which you'll laugh at. And the small pannier is for work-related stuff, so tour packs, first aid kits, toolboxes, which we've already been through. But I'm very lucky enough to have BMW GS bags, which I was given when I got a bike. I picked up this bike, so they're very good. Other bags are just as good. These are waterproof. A bag's a bag, isn't it? As long as it fits inside your pannier, then that's all you need. So what I've done is I have a laptop, because we have to download loads and loads of films from each day for the clients so they can see. So the laptop is in a bag in its own little box that goes inside there. Any paperwork I have, folders, things like that, goes in there. And then I have a sandwich box. And the sandwich box is full of all my charging leads. spare bits and pieces, hard drives, the mouse, you know, memory sticks, memory cards.
Little, don't forget to take. I mean, we take them, but memory card adapters for the tiny little SD cards from cameras and from GoPros and things, so that you can plug them into the computer, or USB adaptation so that you can put them into the computer and take.
This is where I carry mine in a little earplug packet thing I got. I don't know what you call it, and so they're all in there, nicely stacked away. I also carry spare batteries for the cameras in here. Recently got rid of my GoPros because I've changed over to a JVC quad-proof, waterproof camera now. There you go.
Really?
I still have less cameras than Toby has, but I have a Drift Ghost camera which I've got spare batteries for and charging leads, so it all fits inside a sandwich box, and you can see it's, you know, I probably have to take more kit than if you were just going away on your own, but that's all it is, just a sandwich box.
I guess we're not taking more kit per se. We're just taking different kit, aren't we?
Yeah.
So if we were just going on a normal tour, we'd still have a camera, or we'd have our phone, we'd have some charging cables, but we wouldn't perhaps have our laptops and all that sort of stuff in there. But would we fill those extra spaces with more clothes? And the answer is, for me, would be no.
No.
Really, really travel light. And we had a talk with somebody that does lots and lots of touring, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying you don't even need a top box, you just need one side pannier for one and one for the other. But I'm of the mind that I've got a top box on there, and I use the top box for a day box.
Yeah. And
the day box is for everything during the day, so I haven't got to go through all of my stuff all the time, take bags out, get stuff. It's just my day box, put my helmet in when I go off.
So my sandwich box is this shape and this size because it fits inside the bag, and even when the computer's in there, this goes in the side where the exhaust is.
Yeah.
So this slots down nicely into the exhaust gap, if you want, on the pannier, and then I can fill that space up with any extra kit that I can't get in my other bag, which is like nothing. I also put an iPad in here because I carry an iPad, and that is basically all that goes in there.
And that's the other thing to think of. You know, the panniers on your bike might be slightly different, but when you pack stuff in your pannier, use the shape and size of the inside of the pannier, not just the bag, to your advantage. So I've got slightly different bags that were bespokely made for me by a friend who's a tailor, and literally my laptop bag goes one side, my container with all of my cables is literally next to it, camera bag and box in there, and a tripod, and it just slips right in. And I use because laptops are quite good things, but horrible if they get damaged and stuff, so it fits just into the crevice inside that box and doesn't bang about.
That's exactly what this does. And so if I just put this to one side, then you can see there's 2 articles in that. There's never really much more than that. I also put my charging leads for the phone and iPad and things in there. Computer charging leads is obviously quite a big thing. Yeah. But it just all fits in. And if I can put it into a small box where it's stored in there, it stops it rattling around, that's what I'll do.
Right, so on to our little gadgets.
Here we are. Here's a Fujifilm Charger
Adapter,
that'll do, we'll use those words. Okay, it's got your European one in it, it's got your American one in it, it's got your British one in case you're in somewhere where you need to have British ones, and it also has a USB connector that fits on the back, so you can charge direct from the wall. These are about 20 quid. I take 2 of these with me when I go away. It goes in my bag with all my with my sandwich boxes and my computer, but it's not the only type. Now, Toby's now going to tell us.
Yeah, I've got a sync wire. Hopefully you can see that.
Is that Chinese?
Sync wire. Well, you know when you look around as to what to buy electrically, and you end up buying stuff that's like 2 quid. I really wanted to make sure that I bought stuff that had a warranty. It's got like 2 or 5 year warranty. It's really good. It was 20 quid, but the reason that I bought this is because you can have it for America. That clips out, clips back in, and you can obviously have it for England because it comes with an English adapter, but then it also comes with a European adapter. Now obviously if I'm away in Europe on most of the tours that I've been doing, I don't even take the English one, And the reason that I like this is it's the same size as Mark's, but it's a better shape to pack for me because I take 2 of these. And yours, even though it does for everything and you poke these bits in and out, you've only got 1 USB on there, and I've got a GoPro for the front and back of the bike. I've got 2 cameras, I've got a mobile phone, I've got a helmet, all those things need to be charged, and this comes with 4 USB on the back.
Do you know when we say you should pack what you need? Do you really need all that?
Well, yeah, because you know, the videos are a big part of tours, aren't they? A big part of memories for people of tours, and to be able to get the right shots at the right time. Yes, you end up recording far more than you need, but the videos speak for themselves when people can see and put themselves back in it. And if I've got 1 too many slots that I don't use, I haven't taken an extra bit of kit.
Yeah.
So I literally, and the other reason why I take these rather than a single one is because when I first started touring, I had just the normal adapter. That then you had to have the English plug to plug in, and then you had all of that. And in some hotel rooms, there aren't the number of plugs to plug these things in.
I had one plug socket in the room I stayed in this year in Croatia.
So for taking 2 of those, I can charge up 8 things.
How much is that?
About £20 in England.
So about the same price as one of these.
So it's not too bad. It's got a nice weight to it. It's got an LED on there so that you know it's charging.
Oh, it must be good.
Oh yeah, everything's got an LED. And it's got a guarantee, and I'll put in the card somewhere. I can't remember how long it is. It's either 2 or 5 years.
Guaranteed till you get it out of the packet.
Yeah, and they also charge at 2 rates, 1 amp and 2.4. So it's good for your phones, good for your cameras, good for stuff that you don't need that higher ampage and stuff. Really good bit of kit, and because it's square, it packs nicely in the box. So I like it.
There you go.
So go ahead and buy yourself one, sync wire.
Sync wire?
Yeah.
Or Fujifilm?
Or Fujifilm, if you only want to charge one thing.
But I plug a lot into my computer, which does take a time. So, we're going to talk briefly about being on your bike as well, because that obviously dictates what you're going to take with you. And so Toby is wearing the finest Leafer Hallie Hansen Leafer tops, and I have blue Hallie Hansen, same thing, tights. I also bought this, invested in this Halverson's stuff.
Song about that, isn't it? Halverson, oh Halverson.
Yeah, don't do it your day job, mate.
No, I won't.
Why do we take this kind of stuff? Well, even if you're in a hot country or a cold country, you don't really want to be feeling sticky all day in your bike gear, because you'll be in it all day, obviously. Croatia last year we had 39 degrees. Croatia this year it was getting up to about 35. Conversely, when I was in Norway it was down to 3 degrees. And I still wear the same stuff underneath it. Now it's wicking, so basically it means you don't get wet.
Yeah.
The sweat is taken away from you, and it has a degree of keeping you warm as well. The Halverson stuff is more suited towards hot countries, whereas the Leafer stuff, the Hallie Hansen stuff, is suited more towards a cooler country, I would have thought.
See, I get on everywhere I go. In England, when we get cooler weather, and it's not like Norway, but and then in Spain, 36, 37 degrees, I find this stuff just as good as...
It's amazing stuff.
I mean, it's just brilliant stuff. It stinks at the end of the day.
Which brings us on to another point.
Because it's doing what it should do.
Yeah.
But this is all you need. And I just take 2 of these. I take 2 tops and a pair of trousers. Because like Mark said, getting sticky in your bike kit is no laughing matter. It's really quite horrible. And when you start concentrating on that you're sticking to something, you're not concentrating on the road. So if you've got a pair of those on, they might stink at the end of the day, but you can get your trousers on and off really easily, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. Also, something, if you've got as much hair as I have, something to consider is... Well, the wig's not inside. I've left the wig in the helmet, haven't I? Oh no! I also wear a thin silk balaclava. Not because I like wearing balaclavas or anything. You can go to special websites for that. But you find that the sweat's got nowhere to go. If you've got hair, then obviously the sweat gets absorbed into your hair and it's not so much of a problem. But if you've got no hair, then it just soaks straight into your helmet. So the silk balaclava just keeps you cool, and it also wicks away as well. And they're about 18 quid. You can buy them off eBay, and other sites are available, I'm sure.
Yeah, that don't take so much money. Yeah.
But be careful if you buy a silk one, and buy a big one, because I've been through about 4 now, and you have to really stretch them to make them fit. So,
and they're really easy to wash.
Bringing on to my next point.
Ah, brilliant.
Washing.
How do you wash yours?
How do I wash mine? I found that touring it's brilliant fun, obviously, because I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. And but you have to get yourself into a routine very quickly. And the routine it's like your personal admin, as it's called in the military. You've got to do your personal admin first before you go out and have a few beers. But it only takes a very short period of time. So I wear this stuff. I might wear it one day, I might wear it 2 days, depending on what country you're in and whether it's hot and cold or not. But take it in the shower with you. Use a shampoo or the soap or whatever, or you can go to an outdoor shop or even just supermarket and buy a small bottle of washing up liquid. If that's what you want to do. And what I do is I wash this, hang it up in the bathroom overnight, and it's dry in the morning. It's dry within about 5 hours normally, 5 or 6 hours. And if it's not, if you're in a hot country, it doesn't matter if it's a little bit damp when you put it on in the morning. I mean, we're not precious, are we? But in my experience, both Halle Hansen and the Halverson stuff have both been dry in the morning.
I think exactly the same. I've got a process the same as you. As soon as I get into the hotel room, even before I have a shower, I get changed, because you're normally really, really hot because of the places that we go. And I just use the sink, and I use my shower gel. I just rinse it through, just wash it in the sink. As soon as that's pants, t-shirt, that, and socks washed, hanging up in the bathroom, always dry the next morning.
You wear pants with these?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Weirdo. I don't. There's a revelation.
No, I'd say weirdo.
I just wear these because they're tight. They've got a zip in it, a front in them, so I don't wear pants underneath them, and that's why I wash them every day. Don't look like that, for God's sake. Everyone else does it.
But they're just amazingly durable bits of kit.
And the good thing about these, if you're only taking 2 sets, you've only got to pack 1.
Yeah.
Because you're wearing the other set, and look how small you can get this little bundle.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is almost in a fist. Okay, and the trousers will do even less. So it's really easy to pack. And that's important if you're not packing a lot like we aren't.
Yeah.
We're not.
They know what you mean.
Okay.
They know what we mean.
Cool. So I'll put those over here, like in good Blue Peter fashion.
Yeah.
Here's some I packed earlier.
So that's all we take to ride. So now we're going to talk about the stuff that we take with us to wear for the rest of the trip. Bear in mind this is 3 weeks, and some of you will go, my God, that's horrible. But you're only spending, like Mark said earlier, 2 or 3 hours in this stuff. We're not spending days and days in it. So why take loads and loads of kit? And the countries that we're going to, if we decide that we need something extra, there are always places you can buy cheap pairs of trousers and t-shirts and stuff.
I know people who buy socks, cheap socks and pants, and bin them each day.
Yeah.
So they just throw them away at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit extreme, actually. One thing you have to decide, depending on what country you're going to, and it's always a trade-off, it's always a compromise. And so what I do is I try to wear shorts. Obviously, when I'm travelling in the summer, I'm trying to wear shorts as much as possible. That said, 40 degrees of heat, you can wear shorts. I've also worn shorts at the Arctic Circle, because the Arctic Circle in the summer, is about 4 degrees. Is that C or F? 4 degrees C, isn't it? We're in Europe, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right,
C.
4 degrees C, okay, which, it's not that cold, really, if you're only out there for a short period of time. So, I've got 2 pairs of shorts. They're like ripstop shorts, which fold up again. There's 2 pairs here, and now you have to decide whether you're going to be a folder
or a roller.
Okay.
What are you?
I'm a roller.
I'm a
most
roller.
of the time, and these are these amazing pairs of trousers. And no matter what you do to them, the creases will drop out as soon as you put them on.
Yeah.
So you don't have to iron them, and also when they get dirty, because they're made of nice lightweight materials, you can wash these and they'll be dry overnight. And so if you have a day off or you're spending, you know, a night, 2 nights in a place, just do your personal admin and get them washed quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, if you want to take long trousers, I've got these ripstop trousers. These are 511 trousers actually.
Sounds like a ripstop advert, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, but you know, it folds down and it's very lightweight and it's really, really hard wearing. So these are long trousers which fold up again, next to nothing. Okay, 1 pair of trousers is the same as 2 pairs of shorts.
Yeah.
Okay, so they take up no space in your bag.
See, you roll them and fold them in a strange way. See, in my bag, if you look at my bag is literally, everything is rolled up like that.
I was doing it
Side
for
by
the camera.
side by side by side.
Oh, okay.
And even things like shoes. You know, we get onto shoes and I take...
We're taking slippers. Roll my slippers.
Yeah, I usually take a pair of like flip-flops or Crocs, and people will hate Crocs, people will love Crocs. They're the best thing you could put on your feet after a day's riding, I think. They're just amazing. But there's a massive space inside the Croc where you can put socks and stuff.
I was going to go on to that.
Excellent.
Before we get on to that though, here's a Gore-Tex jacket, a rain jacket. You need to decide again whether you want to take one or not. I took it to Norway, but I didn't take it to Croatia. We had horrendous weather on the first start of the Croatia trip, but I still didn't need a jacket because we weren't going out of the hotel at night, we weren't going, you know, around the town particularly, so you don't necessarily need that. And if I take a Gore-Tex jacket, it goes in the same bag as my computer because it doesn't get used very often.
Yeah. See, I just take a down jacket because it literally packs into a bag that size. I don't even take a wet weather jacket because I've got my bike jacket if I need. If it's that bad, I'll wear a bike jacket or something.
Okay. That was very non-committal there, wasn't it? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we are.
See, even we differ on what we want to take. So there's no science involved at all, is there?
No. Here is 3 weeks. So I've got 2 pairs of shorts, which I take all the time. A pair of trousers if I feel I really need to, but you know, to be honest, this year I haven't taken trousers with me at all. I have 2 pairs of socks. 2 pairs of socks, you might say. Yeah, because I'm wearing one all day and the other pair I wash and dry out overnight.
Yeah, and
they're thick woolly socks.
Well, I do exactly the same, but I do take 3 pairs just because I haven't bought any specialist socks. I've just got normal socks that I would wear every day, and sometimes they haven't been dry in the morning because they're not as light as these. So I do take 3 pairs, and I also take a pair of trainer socks as well.
Okay.
But that's just preference.
Something to think about is these. I always wear wool socks. A lot of socks have nylon and you know, different materials inside them. And if your feet are sweating all day on a bike, if you're in a warm country, what you don't want to do is give it the situation where you have to look after your feet. You don't want athlete's foot to suddenly start developing, and you know, because once that catches hold, and it can catch hold really quickly, you don't want it spreading. So you have to look after your feet. So I've got 2 pairs of socks packed. I'm actually wearing a pair.
Do you know, that reminds me of that song by Baz Luhrmann years ago. Look after your knees, you'll miss them when they're gone. It's exactly the same with your feet.
Didn't he also say always wear sun cream?
Sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
Yeah.
There you go. We're dating yourself there, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I've got 2 pairs of socks to pack because I'm wearing a pair on my bike. So I take 3 pairs. I just didn't explain that very well, did I? So look after your feet. Woolly socks are good because they give you quite a space around your foot and inside your boot, and it'll allow minimal air to sort of mooch around, and it wicks the sweat away from you. And if you've got particularly sweaty feet, I would suggest woolly socks are ideal. Don't have to be thick wool, but not thin, because thin may rub and give you blisters and things. So socks, pants. I've been very extravagant here now. Okay, I've left my Calvin Kleins. I usually wear a thong, but I got 3 pairs of pants. I got 3 pairs of pants. Okay, I can actually cut that down to 2 because you're only going to wear them one at a time, and you can wash a pair and dry overnight. And you know, let's not be precious about it, fellas and ladies and gentlemen. You will dry it overnight in a warm country.
See, I have you know, like quite tight quite tight boxers, like not Calvin Klein's but that sort of thing, but I have extra long boxer shorts, because then they don't ride up and all that sort of stuff while I'm riding, and they're easy to wash.
Don't wear them.
But I can't,
just wear your tights.
You're either baggy or not baggy, or pants or briefs, aren't you? I just can't see why people will wear briefs or even baggy boxers.
The whole video has changed now, hasn't it?
It has,
We've gone from baggy boxers to tight briefs.
Yeah.
Budgie smugglers.
Yeah. I wouldn't go that far. I don't exactly walk around with them and just this top on.
So, well, I take 3 pairs. I could get away with 2 because I don't wear them during the day. I just wear my Hallie Hansen stuff. Shoes. Crocs are ideal. These are Keens, but they're brilliant. And like Toby says, big space inside for you to pack all your stuff. So 2 pairs of socks inside there, just like that.
Now the other reason that I take Crocs over this sort of thing is because the Crocs are so light, but you can also fold them right over, and as soon as you take them out, they go back to their normal shape. And they're comfortable, and you're not going to break them, and they're lightweight. Whereas those, really good, you can use them in a whole host of different places, but they're quite heavy, aren't they?
Yeah.
In comparison.
But they're nice. I like them. I've got Crocs. I don't mind coming out and say I wear Crocs. My wife hates it. But there you go. They're packed, so we're cutting down space all the time.
Yeah.
Now I've got 3 t-shirts. That's all you need, in my opinion, because you're on a biking holiday. You're not on a who's going to look good at night holiday. So you can still look reasonable.
Well, you have still got to look good though, haven't you?
You have still got to look good.
Pick the right stuff, people.
There you go.
Take the right stuff.
This is all named. Named stuff.
I don't look good. I don't buy this name stuff. What's there? Name stuff.
Alright, so 3 t-shirts. You can wear a t-shirt probably 3 nights.
Yeah.
Realistically. You're only wearing it for a couple of hours a night. If you think how long you wear a t-shirt for in the daytime, and you might wear that for 2 days, some of you. Okay, so wearing a t-shirt for 3 nights, even 4 nights, is not a problem. And then if you get a stop somewhere, just wash 1 t-shirt at a time, and most of the time they're dry pretty quickly. So if I put all that together, and I'll be really generous, I sound like I should be selling meat on a market actually.
But the only thing that I take extra to you, by the looks of it, is I take like a really thin, not cardigan, but an over jacket, but not a heavy jacket. Take my down jacket, as I said, because it packs right down. But I also take like a, I don't know,
like a fleecy.
Yeah, like a fleecy type thing, just so that it packs really easy and it keeps you cool. Because some of those evenings when you're out with your mates outside having a beer or whatever, or even a meal outside, because it's so nice, it does get cold really quickly, so I just like to have something like that.
I wear, I don't usually take a fleece jumper with me or anything like that, but I have a Rucker windstopper fleece that zips inside the jackets for winter, but I take that with me and it folds down pretty much like this. So so that's pretty much all my gear.
That's all your gear.
Now, we're not going to go into rolling or packing, but what we will do... Bag! Here's another bag in good Blue Peter style. If you want to just pick that up and drop it in.
You watch this. This will be an epic fail. Oh!
Okay, now, this is a reasonable size. I have to stand up here, so it's a reasonable sized bag. But even with all that stuff packed in it, okay.
It's scrunching.
Alright, but it's all rolled up. Would be normally. Okay. That's all the space it takes. So if I just bring it over there so you can see it. Okay. So that would last me 3 weeks. I know you think we're probably tramps and it's not going to, but it does.
Oh, and the other thing that would you put in there your wash kit?
Yep.
Yeah, so you get a little wash kit in there as well.
One thing I would remind you to take is sunscreen.
Wear sunscreen.
Okay, hats.
Yeah, hats are really
baseball
important.
Hat or like a tilly hat type thing, a floppy hat.
Sunglasses.
And people don't wear sunglasses enough.
Yeah.
You know, they go, oh, I don't need it, and you see, you've only got 1 set of eyes, fellas. So look after them.
Yeah. And you know, that's the sort of stuff that I keep in my day box, my top box, my sunglasses, little bits and bobs like cleaners for the visor and that sort of stuff. It's all in my top box, and a hat, because when you get off your bike, you take your top off Well, not your top off, but your jacket off.
Hey! You will.
Take your jacket off, have something to eat, go walking around for half an hour, whatever it's going to be. That's the time where you really need something on your head just to keep that heat off. Because don't forget, you know, you burn the top of your head for some of those people that haven't perhaps got so much hair on their head as I have. Then you put your helmet back on, and when you get back to the hotel, you've got a massive rash or, you know, problems that you've got to get creams for.
I forgot to say that in my in my bag with the computer in it, I also have my documents for the bike, insurances and things like that you're likely to be asked for if you're travelling abroad. And at the moment, we can still take E111 cards with us, which are in your wallet. Yeah. Another thing I do take is something like this, just a little roll-up waterproof bag, because when I get off my bike and I'm walking around, if I want to carry some stuff, you know, I don't want to necessarily leave valuables in my bike, I can certainly put it in there, and that takes up no space at all.
See, I don't take anything like that. I have a waterproof rolled up bag strapped to the back seat of my bike, which has got an oversuit for wet weather gear, just in case it really does get that foul, that if one of the people that are on the tour have forgotten theirs or haven't got them, or if I need an extra one, I can put it on. But if I'm walking around, I take that. That's all I take.
We've done a video about patches.
Check it out. It'll be up there somewhere. I just keep my wallet, which has got all my cards, passport, my phone, and my money in there. That's it. I don't take anything else with me.
Okay. A little tip about taking your money with you and your cards and everything. Don't keep it all in one place. If they steal your wallet and all your cards are in there, they've got everything. So make sure you spread it around. Put a little bit, you know, a card in one pannier, bit of cash in another, your wallet in a different pocket. So if they get something, you know, which people are not necessarily nice people in this world, right? They don't get everything.
Yeah. And talking about money, I always separate it. I have an envelope somewhere on the bike that's lockable or hidden somewhere that has extra euros, a copy of all my documents in case something goes wrong. I also have all of my documents and stuff on my USB stick, which is on my keys, so just in case. So I've got a third copy, and it just pays to have stuff secure. And we both use a Caxton FX card, which is a prepaid card. That's the one that I pay for everything abroad on. I haven't found anywhere that it's not been used or not accepted yet, but you can load it with loads and loads of different currencies, so it doesn't matter which country you're going into.
I think you're allowed to put 9 currencies on it at any one time.
And you get the money back off there when you come back if you wanted to recoup it at the same rate that they put it on there, which is really, really good.
I did forget to mention about carrying a little water bottle. Always a handy tip in your top box. If you have a top box. If you don't have a top box, don't worry about it necessarily, but you can see by the amount of stuff we've packed, there's plenty of space to carry stuff that I would consider essential in a hot country, because people tend to forget about rehydrating themselves when they're riding. And if you're in a hot country in motorbike gear, even if you've got vented stuff, you're still going to sweat.
Yeah.
And it's no good going to a cafeteria and then a cafe somewhere and saying, okay, I'll drink a coffee. You know, you need water. Just a litre and a half of water, yeah. So it makes sense to drink it, so carry it if you can.
Yeah. So, if you've enjoyed the video, give us a massive thumbs up. It really does help. Give us some comments down below. Tell us how you pack. Is what we do the same as what you do? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, which will be there somewhere, I'm guessing. And we'll see you in the next video.